Hello, this is Old Electronics Fan, and I'm doing something different, quite different than what I usually do. This is my Pioneer CT-F500 cassette deck. It's got a naughty habit of wrinkling tapes. It's not playing nice with others, as it were. So, I'm going to actually want to do a couple of things. I have another cassette deck sitting over here. A less expensive one made by Realistic. Also got another one made by Sharp. I probably won't look at both of those, but I was curious to see. Let me back up. Today, when you get a cassette deck, you can get new ones, but the mechanisms in these things, they're made by one manufacturer and they're very cheap. They're very inexpensive. So I wanted to show you what a decent cassette mechanism looks like, and this one does, I think, have a good quality one. This is older, so it should have. And see if we can persuade this thing to not eat tapes. Cassette decks are not supposed to have an appetite, but this one does. Now, I'm going to use this stuff here. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front that often does not work. However, I'm willing to try it. If it works, great. If not, then I'm looking at trying to find replacement rubber tires or complete rubber rollers for this thing. And you can just guess how likely it is that I'm going to find those. Although there might be sources for those that I don't know about, and if somebody does, it'd be great if they just let me know. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through taking this all apart. We're going to get this cassette deck assembly, or the mechanism, out of here to the point where I can work on it, and hopefully I'll show you some basic, I'll give you some basic information on getting something like this apart, for anyone who might not be that familiar. And also, hopefully, I'll get this to work. Once I get the case off, the cover off from this, I'm going to probably take the cover off from my other cassette deck, and we'll just compare the two before I even take this completely apart. So, without further ado, let's take the screws out. No, don't do that. Alright, fine. Either way. Okay. And I'm trying to store my screws someplace where they won't get lost and misplaced. I'm trying to make that a habit. I somehow managed to misplace the center screw and the, well, it looks like a nut, but it's more of a washer that retains the cone of an old speaker. Fortunately, I was able to work around that, but I'd prefer not to have to do that. Alright, so this comes out, it tilts, there we go. Now, this, let's throw some more light on that. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Sometimes this light washes everything out. This, my friends, is a decent cassette mechanism. Let's just take a peek at why I say it. Well, number one, it's complex. Actually, you can't see it, can you? Let's see here. Let's do this. And I think you can get a better view of it this way, maybe. And we'll zoom in. Alright. Now, first thing I want you to see is that you've got this nice big flywheel. Alright, driven by a fairly stout belt there. This is the counter. This little pulley, I believe, runs the counter up here. Yeah, well, there's that. There's the counter. Let's see here. This has got a lot going on. I've looked at some of the cheaper cassette players, and this is significantly better than they are. So, yeah, I think this is a much heftier unit, and it's got a belt here, and there's a drive tire right there. One of the things I'm going to have to clean, no doubt. The belts seem pretty healthy, which is nice. So I won't have to deal with those most likely. So there's that one. Now we're just going to take a look at the other one. I might, depending on what it takes to get this one fixed and working properly, I may get into the other one, actually see what we can do. So, I'll get stuff out of the way, slide you over. There we go. Are you unplugged? No, you're not. There we go. I hate blocking that camera. Alright, so this, and yeah, let's zoom back here. This actually has two cassette players in it. It's got some nice features, high-speed dubbing, and that's all that sort of thing. This is an SCT-60. I really don't know what quality cassette mechanism there is, but I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at this. This one also has problems. I don't remember the exact problems, although I'm thinking fast forward and rewind are some of the issues this one has. Let's see, do I have? I've got to have something here. This will work. I really am. Maybe. Oh, cock. Well, fine. Do that way. All right. So, I have used this cassette deck quite a bit in the past, and I have used it for dubbing tapes and so on. There have been times when my wife wanted the same cassettes I had, so I duplicated a tape for her. Probably aren't supposed to do that, but I figured we bought it once. I'm not sure I didn't want to buy it again. But anyway. Well, oh, aha, more screws hiding. Alright, so I just want to do a comparison, because I was kind of curious about this. Let's go. There it is. Alright. Okay, let's tilt this up a little bit because I don't know that you can see. Now I think this unit is newer than the other one, I believe. And don't do that to me. Hey, stop it. All right. It was trying to slide off the table on me. So let's see. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit. I want to go to, let's see. And I don't know if you can see. Remember the flywheel on the other cassette? Can we? Yeah. This is the flywheel for this right here. And that's kind of hiding everything, isn't it? I don't know if I can see. You can't see anything better. Well, this little shiny thing right here, that's the flywheel, and you can see a huge comparison between this one and that one. This is a much simpler, much cheaper cassette deck. I don't know why. I don't know what is slipping. Now I'll have to explore that and see what's going on, because one of these, I know, fast forward or rewind just doesn't work. So I just wanted to see wanted you to see the comparison between, and it seems like, well, I guess there's a couple things going on. This is newer. It's a cheaper deck, therefore they didn't use the same quality of cassette mechanism. But even as cheap as this is a better mechanism than what you can get today. And I did use this quite a bit, and for my purposes it worked just fine. I was not unhappy with it until it stopped behaving itself. So I'm going to put this aside and we're going to dig into the other one. That was a curiosity on my part. Hopefully that was interesting for you to see. And so now that you've seen these, if you open, and I think what's his name, Techmoan, he's opened up a number of yes, okay. He's opened up a number of the inexpensive cassette decks, and if you want to see the difference in quality between what we used to get and what we can get now, then that'd be a good place to look. Actually, let's throw that back in here. There we go. If you're interested, of course. Oh, I got to do that too. Okay. All right. One of the things you do have to pay attention to is this thing here. It has to come off. See there. Because if you don't, then there will be issues. All right. So now this part. Oh, you got to take the take this off. There we go. There's over there. And now, theoretically, yes. There. So that's off. A lot of these, this front panel has to come off first before you can get anywhere with it. Alright, what do we got? Got a screw there, there, two there. This whole panel may have to come off. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling. So we got screws along the top here. Let's find out what happens when I take those out. And I'm trying to pay attention in my, put in my memory the type of screw I'm taking out of where, so I don't try to put the wrong screw in the wrong place. And so I have to remember things like this little clip goes there. Since I have my video, that will make life easier. So now when I look at this screw I can see goes into the frame. Now let's see. Down you go. Alright, so this screw goes into the frame of this, so that has to come out. Come on, let's go. Or not, there we go. No? Yes? Alright. Okay. And let's see what else we got. This there. Are there? Peek under there. I don't think I'll take the panel off the bottom, I don't think. But I have a nasty feeling that this has to come off before I can get where I want to go. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Yep, I do have to take this whole front panel off. Like it or not, it's got to go. I'll show you in a minute why. Come on, let's go. Decent screwdriver, but not being very nice. tried to select tools I thought I might need, so I wouldn't be reaching into my drawer for my tools. For those who are looking for a way to come up with a workbench at little or no cost, I'll just mention that since I'm just yanking screws out. It's magnetized. Yes, thought you might be. The desk that I'm working on is an old office desk, and I have all my tools in the center slide-out drawer. I've got drawers on either side. I've got chemicals over to the right there, and I got stuff everywhere. This thing's like 6 by 3, and it was perfect. When I found it, I said, "Well, do I really need a desk that big?" Yeah, I did. Let's see. Wait, is that really right? Is that what I really have to do? I guess we'll find out in a minute. So I got it. Price was free, right price. And since I've got it, I've had to put a shelf along the left-hand side for more stuff. I'm thinking about adding on to that end of it just to have more room for storing things. It's just, no matter how much room you have, it seems like you always need more. Of course, I was worried about having enough room down in the space where I have it, and I just barely did. Let's go. Thank you. And let's see here. Oh, another screw hiding right there. You gotta find all the screws they've hidden. You're gonna get this apart. Thank you. Alright, now, can I let's see. Aha. Oh, there's this little belt right here. I don't know if you can see. This little belt right here for the counter. I'm going to take that belt off. That's going to be fun to put back, I'm sure. Now, I'm really hoping that I don't have to go any further with that. What I really want to do, though, is get to this. Oh, and this is one of the reasons, whoops, I was pretty sure that these screws, there's one there and there's one here, we're going to be important for me to get at things, so let's take a peek. When I saw those hiding, I knew that meant this had to come off, whether I wanted it to or not. Right. Now, of course, when you're putting this back together, you really want to remember that this plate has to go back. It'd make you very unhappy to put it all back together and see this sitting on your workbench and say, "Oh no." I would like to think that would be obvious, but I've done stuff like that before, so. Alright, so what do we got? Let's throw some light on the subject. Yes. Alright. Well, here's what I'm going to do. There are 3 pulleys, and I don't know what you can see at this point. that going to be too, yeah, I think I still need checking my camera out. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if we can zoom in there a little bit, and that way. Alright, so I've got a rubber tire down there, got one here, and I've got one hiding back there. What else is going on? I've got a drive belt coming off from here, but I think, I don't know what that is, I'll have to look from the back. So I'm going to start first of all by hitting all three of these with cleaner. So one of the downsides of doing what I'm doing is not knowing for sure this is going to work. So I'm going to go through all this trouble, and we're just really hoping that something good happens. But at least I will know that I've tried. By the way, this stuff, this rubber renew, is really smelly. Alright, so let's slide down in there. Can we? Yes. So I'm going to wipe it for a little bit, and I'm going to let it just sit. Now I'm going to go down here and do this one. Now I'm not sure which one of these does what. I do know that they're all kind of important, so we're going to clean them all. Alright. So, yeah, I'm sure this is exciting. Watch your paint dry. And how long it takes me to do this, let me chop some of this out. Alright. Now we're going to go down here and get this one. Can I see if it's turning? So that's what I really want it to do. I don't know if it rotates when I turn this one. No, it does not. Does it turn? It does. Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm simply spinning my Q-tip here. Cotton swab, whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure Q-tip is a brand name. I'm just spinning that roller with my cotton swab, and just to get it wet. Then, what I think I might do, can I, let's see, what do I want? Maybe I can do it this way. Can't get to that. You can't get there from here. It's so much fun. Yeah. So what I want to do is kind of want to scrub that without having it move. Let's see, can I get any more light on that? Maybe not. Maybe? Kind of. No. Well, I'm trying to get some light on the subject that I don't have to hold while I'm doing this. And that's not helping me too much. Kind of is, so. Come on. Trying to be gentle. I don't want to knock the little, because these little rollers have a rubber. It's got kind of like a square O-ring that fits into a groove in the plastic part. And okay. And I think I'm gonna, well, let's see, do I want to do that? Let's see what happens when I wipe this one. Oh, I feel it grab. That might have done some good things. It seems to have dried up for me. Yeah, alright, good. That looks okay. This is your cap stand down here. and you want that clean. I may hit it again with some alcohol. In fact, let me do that while I'm thinking of it. Oh. Yeah. So let's clean that up. Alright. Yeah. A little dirt there. A little crud. Not horrible. I'm sure I've cleaned this before. Let's see, yes. So that nice big flywheel that I showed you on the back, that's what is connected to this. This shaft goes right into that flywheel, and that's what gives you the stability. That's what gives you the, hopefully, the reduced wow and flutter. Now I think I want to, just for fun, I think I want to clean that rubber capstan with some of that rubber renew, just to see. I probably don't need to, but we'll see. Alright. Stuff is stinky. Alright. Oh yeah. It is dirty. Alright. So. And that looks like that does a decent job. I mean, these rollers are far from new, so they're never going to look new. But that seems like it made a difference, but let's try it some more. Wow. I think that's about the best it's going to be. I'm going to leave it right like that. So the other thing I want to do, though, is I want to look at the back side of this. Let's see. I'm looking at this little rubber, but it's not okay. Let me just check, see how nicely those grab. Yeah, let me get you out of the way here. That seems decent. There's our drive motor. This right here is one of the think brain. Okay. This goes to that rubber roller there, and I believe it drives either one side or the other, depending on what roller engages it. And there's a clutch, and this little felt clutch right there. And which you can't see. I can't seem to get to it. I don't know if you can see any better if I move in. Now, you can barely see the edge of it. It's hiding, unfortunately. But there's a little clutch right there, and because when a tape is playing, the take-up reel. Let's see, I've got one right here. All right, so you've got the two reels that hold tape. This is the, because all the tape's over here, this is the side that would be pulling the tape in and winding it onto the oh boy, my words. This side is the full side feeding to this side. To to prevent the tape from getting eaten like this was doing, this has to continue to rotate no matter what the diameter of this is. As the tape goes from here to here, the speed of this pulley has to change. What allows it to keep tension on it and also rotate at the correct speed is this clutch. This clutch will slip, and it's got enough firmness that because that's the other thing you need to check. So I've actually had problems where, I've had problems where, my fingers just, the clutch is seeming rather stiff. So I guess that's not a problem. I've had a problem where these felt clutches have worn to the point where they slip too much, and you cannot get enough tension on the take-up reel. And when that happens, you're going to wind up with tape building up there, and then the next thing you know, you've got crinkled tape, which is bad. So this was an important pulley to clean. Let's get this out of here. It's critical, in fact. Like all of those were. They're all part of the transport system. So this pulley was essential. It has to be grippy enough to drive the other roller that rides against it. This clutch seems like it's more than good enough. I'm going to hold my finger here and try to move this. It is slipping a little bit, but what's the tension like? I don't think that's my problem, though. It may have been originally as light as that. We'll see. I think that belt is definitely getting harder than I really want it to be. Let's see. Okay, well, it seems alright. One of the nice things about a big flywheel is once you get it in motion, it takes a lot to stop it. That's why it has less wow and flutter. Because it's got that nice flywheel effect. At least when you've got one that size. Okay, well, I don't see anything else that I really need to get into on this one. So what I think we'll do is we'll put this back together. Oh, I am going to, actually what I am going to do, I have no idea if this will help even slightly, so I am going to run my rubber renew on this belt. See if it helps it become a little bit more grippy. Like I warned you at the very beginning, this stuff has its place, and it works sometimes. There are times, however, when it doesn't do squat. One of the places where this probably will not help you is if you're trying to fix the idler wheel in a turntable. There's so much torque on those that you really, really need rubber that's got the proper grip. And I just don't think rubber renew is going to give you enough grip back that it's going to work properly. Okay, so I can't see anything else that I want to do. Let's see, did that make any difference? Well, maybe. It does seem to want to resist me rotating the motor a bit more. Huh, well, we'll see. Alright. So I don't see any on some mechanisms you'll get in fact the newer, cheaper ones. These belts, they just won't be there anymore. They will be like liquid goop, and they'll be stuck, they'll be broken, they'll be stuck to the pulleys. They use quality belts in this thing. They didn't turn to goop. Alright. So, now, the fun begins. So, first thing I've got to do, so I do not forget, I'm entirely too aware of the fact that I forget stuff that I desperately don't want to forget. Alright. I've got two. Put this, slide this back here. Alright. I gotta take this and put it back in here. Now, rather than later. And, okay. I got to show you this, because if somebody decides they're going to tackle something like this, this could definitely catch you. Let me just take you off the stand for a minute here. Now, alright, down, down, down. Let me see if I can see what I'm doing. Alright, the bottom edge of this has to fit. There's a plastic little kind of a, now let me pull this out of here. There's a little spot right there, if I get my pointer on it, on that side, and one on this side. And it's kind of notched. And this spot here, this spot here, and this spot here have to drop into that. If you don't, then it will stick out too much and it will most likely interfere. This is fun, trying to see what I'm trying to do and put the camera where I want it. Okay. Now, so there's a little tab on the front of those, and you really need to make sure that this plate is behind that tab. If it isn't, well, you won't be happy, let's put it that way. Alright. So, let's go find the screws. And let's see. That one. And that one. That one, get in there. No. The other nice thing about this, having this center drawer, is that it catches the screws you drop. Sometimes that's a pain, but most of the time it saves you from hunting around on the floor, which is really not fun. I've had screws that just disappeared and I could never ever find it. When I go to move, if I ever move, I will find those screws. And I'll say, huh, I got all the way over there. So, alright. Now, the fun begins. So this has to sit. Oh, the other thing you need to be aware of is, yeah. Once again, I'm going to show you something, just so you don't get into trouble when you go to do this, if you should. Paying attention to how things are made is critical. This arm right here and that part right there have to come together. This is your play record arm. And if that arm isn't in there, when you ask it to do stuff, nothing will happen. So, alright. Slide you back. There. Okay. Let's close that. Uh-oh. Now, Yeah, oh, you know what I did? I was so worried about forgetting to put that on that I forgot the other important part. That. This is my counter belt, and I have to get that on there beforehand. Oh. So that belt goes to the right side cassette drive. I knew something was going to bite me before I got done with this. I knew it. Oh. Where did the screw go? It just fell down. Are you underneath? Oh. No. It's just now gone to the back of the tray. So let's do this. There we are. Gotta love it. Okay, so here's the fun thing. This swings around. This goes around here. Then, can I slide this forward enough that I can grab it over there? Maybe? Well, we will try. I'm going to try, and it stretches pretty well. Come on. Yeah. No, that's not going to work because I still have to get that cover on. This is the stuff that will drive you nuts with these. If you decide to take one of these apart, be sure to bring your patience with you, because you will need it. That's going to be fun. Alright. So what I'm going to try to do is once I have this in place, I'm going to try to position this assembly enough forward so that I can hook that belt up. Hopefully it will behave itself and stay around the pulley where I want it to be. One never knows. Alright, so that goes like that. This goes like that. Let's see. And you can sort of see in there. Let's try this. Feed that in there. Come on. No. Alright. You've got to watch this arm that I showed you earlier, because that is important. So be careful about pulling this forward, because then that arm just gets disconnected. This arm right here, you disconnect that, and then you're going to be back in here again, which would not be fun. Alright, now okay, now will you cooperate? It would be very nice if you would. Alright, let's see here. No. Yeah, it's not being cooperative. This may discourage some of you from even trying to do this. I've done this before many times, and you just have to work around the annoyances to try to get it where you want. Now this, I think what we're going to do, first we'll take all the screws out of there. So I think what we're going to do is try to get a screw into here, try to keep this where I want it more or less. Now, I'm not going to tighten it fully because I want to be able to move this around as I need to. So two things I got to check, and I'm glad I checked that. Come on. All right. That record play arm, that is a bugger. It doesn't want to stay where I want it to stay. Come on. So that tells me, or leads me to believe, that this thing is not sitting in there where like it's supposed to. This front panel is apparently not going where I want it to. Alright, so I'll put that there. Yes, this is not where it belongs. It's gotta go. Aha! Let's go. Let's go. Are we gonna go? Maybe? That's there. That's there. I think. Aha. There's a little groove in the back of this, and you gotta persuade it to go where you want it to. So what I'm going to do right now is try to make sure that this doesn't come out on me, because that would be very annoying. Let's see here. Yes. Come on. And I tightened that, didn't I? Yes, I did. Oh, and you can't see a thing I'm doing. Someday I'll remember. Alright, for what it's worth, I'm just putting in the front screws. I'm trying to. Well. Come on. Oh, because it's not all the way down where it belongs. There we go. Yes, I think that should do it. Let's see, I think this is the one I want. I think. I'll find out in a minute. Or is it this one? It should be this one. Yes. Alright, we're gaining ground. Because that screw I think goes into the frame of this, which helps a lot. And there's one more screw that has to go in here. And yes, I will be checking this thing to see if it works before I put it completely back together. Well, let's see. I guess that's where the longer screws go. I'm going to put this long one here. Come on. Alright. Yeah, the fun part, well, there's two fun parts. Taking it apart and putting it back together. I'm pretty sure putting it back together is a pain. It's the biggest pain part of this, and that's not working. Alright. Alright, let's see. Get those. Oh, does that fit? Does that go there? I'm not sure. I think this one goes there. Pretty sure that's where I took that one from. Yes, there's that one. Got another screw that has to go there. I think that goes there. I suppose if I were really going to be careful about this, I would take the screws out in a certain order and line them up so that when I put it back together, I would know exactly which screw goes where. Now, let me see. I don't usually do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just masochistic. I don't know. Alright. Let's try this. I think I've tried that in the past and I haven't always succeeded. Ah, yes, there it goes. It did fit. It surprised me how quickly it stopped. Apparently the plastic piece surrounding that hole is thicker. And that's where that longer screw really was required. Okay, so we're getting there. I got a screw that has to go there. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, this clip has to go here, so I'll have to take that off in a minute. But I really want to get a screw in there so things will stay put. Let's see. Yes. Alright, well, of course. Come on. Cooperate. I don't know why that's not going. Why 4? I think once I get this last screw in here, because that supports this frame, then I can tighten these up, and then we'll check it and see if it does what I want it to. Let's see. Got 3 of these. I've sworn that one of those came out of there. 4 of those. And those, yeah, it's got to be one of these. It's got to be one of these. Well, let's try this one in there first of all. I tightened this up, didn't I? Yes, I did. Bad, bad, bad. And yes, there we go, I think. Yes, I think. Yes? No? Ah, I see. This bracket behind here, I need a fatter screwdriver too. This bracket behind here can move, and actually it has to move for the screw to get in there and get started properly, I think. Well, is that this one? Maybe it is. Let's find out. Nope. I'm pretty sure that goes to the bottom. Let's try this one. Yes. Maybe? Yeah. There we go. Just had to be stubborn. Of course you did. Alright. And let's see. What have I got left? I got that one. That one. I don't see anything else. I think I had to put it from the back. No. So let's put this little clip in place. Then we can do a little test of this. Yep. All right. Tighten this down. Now I'm not going to play music through this because I'll just get dinged. But what I want to do is see if it will play a tape without trying to eat it. And see what my fast forward and rewind does. All right. Where did I put my lock? Okay. So, hopefully that stays put. All right. You think I would know after all these years of owning this where the power button is? Ah, it's over here. Duh. Alright. So, forward and reverse, high speed, play, stop eject, okay. Alright, so first thing I want to do is it fast forwards. Good. Let's see what the rewind does. Actually, I should have tried to rewind here. Yeah. I'm trying to make sure that it can pull from the full reel. I also want to make sure it goes this way, because when you're pulling from the small reel to the full reel, it takes a lot more torque to get that to work, and it's not self-ejecting. Why? I don't know. Must be slipping. Well, I thought it would auto eject there. Why for? Let's do this. I want to. Nope. Let's play, which is I just looked at. All right. So one of the things you need to look for when your tape is playing is you want to make sure that this take-up pulley is actually spinning at the appropriate speed, and you're looking for any tape popping out into this area. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see this stuttering or stalling either, because if that happens, then you're in trouble. So I want to see if the auto eject works, or auto stop rather. So we're going to, okay, now this should, well, so if this is working properly, yes, there's my leader, okay, and there it goes. A bit slow, tells me that those rubber rollers are probably not as healthy as I would like. I grabbed this tape. It says super tape, but it's, you know, it's kind of sketchy. Come back here, you. What I think I'm going to do is this, because one of the ways you can test your cassette mechanism is to try to stress this. So right now, that playing this with the full side here does not stress the clutch or the drive mechanism that much. Doing this, on the other hand, does. Because now, like I said, the full, when you're going on to when you're moving tape from a small diameter to a large diameter, from a not so full reel to a full reel, that's where the stress, or is more highly stressed, and this is quite likely where you're going to run into trouble if this isn't working properly. So what you can see is, hopefully you can see, yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can see it without my flashlight. That's kind of amazing to me, because I have harder time seeing that just looking at it than I do looking into the monitor of the camera. Alright, so this is behaving the way I want it to. But this is looking pretty good, because because right now this is highest stress. If this was going to screw up, this is where it would screw up. And right now I see that moving smoothly and evenly. It's not jumping, it's not stalling. I could stall it with my spring hook, but obviously that's not what I want to do, because that would be bad. I think we got it, by George. So, a pain? Yeah. Is it all that bad? No. Well, I see where that other screw goes. I have two of them. I have to go places. I'm not sure where they both go. Oh, I got one there and then one there. Alright, so this one looks like it's working, and that actually didn't take that long to take apart and fix. And you notice that my counter is counting, which means that I got my little skinny belt on there. Thankfully, I noticed that I'd forgotten the belt for this just after I put that metal plate in place. It would really have annoyed me to get it all back together and realize that I still had that drive belt sitting out on my bench. I would not have been happy. So, I know this plays well. I've had it playing up till the point where it ate the tape. So the capstan part of this was always working. It sounded good. It wasn't, the speed wasn't changing. It wasn't warbling. It sounded, even if you had violins in the background, it sounded like it was maintaining the proper speed. So I'm pretty confident that this and the drive mechanism for this is healthy, because it was working well before. This is where I had trouble before, and the fast forward and rewind didn't want to behave so well. So this time I got lucky. The rubber renew did fix my problem. I think I am going to go to the other cassette player, because, you know, it hasn't taken me all that long to do this. It made me very happy. And it should not be eating tapes anymore. Like I said, this is a 60. Now are you going to trigger? Yes, it is. That's also a good sign. So it wound tape onto the full pulley, or reel, whatever you want to call it, and it auto ejected. Both of those are good things. I'm very happy. So let me put this the rest of the way together, and then we will take a quick look at the other one and see. I gotta try some different tapes because I really don't want to wreck this one. I kind of gambled using that tape on this cassette player. I don't want to on that one because I know it's not a happy camper. Alright. Oh, the other thing I forgot to check. Oh yes, it's there. This would be the final check you'd want to make before putting the cover on. Make sure that oh phooey, where are you? Let's throw some light on. Oh, throw some light on there. Alright. You want to make sure this pin is in the slot in this arm. Several times I caught this pin going under the arm, going to the side of the arm, places where I didn't want it to go. So, just be aware of that. That's something to check before you, oops, that's not what I want. Where's my record button? You grab another tape that I don't care about. Throw that in there. Yes, okay. So the final test, what I'm doing is, I'm going in here and I'm checking, where are you? I'm checking to see that when I hit my record button, that arm moves. And of course it does. So, I'm trying to avoid Murphy. You know, bad things happen at the worst possible moment, etc., etc. I'm trying to make sure Oh, and yes, there's another rule. When you put your covers, all your covers on, get everything all buttoned down, that's when you're going to find that you've forgotten something or that something isn't working properly. That's another well-known rule, I think. It's just one I've run into. So I like to double check things before I put my covers on. All the covers on, because, well, it's just annoying to have the have to take it all apart again to fix something you've forgotten, or something's gone wrong and you just didn't know what had gone wrong. There we go. Alright, so I think everything's tight. Okay. I really hate to get things all back together and have it not work properly. Let's see. So I've got all my screws in place. I know there's 2 screws that go underneath here. So now I can put this cover on. And alright. Yes. Now I believe these coarse thread screws go to the bottom here. And again, you can't see squat. Alright. So I have 2 coarse threaded screws, which I now remember went to the bottom like this. You're supposed to go there, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yes. Alright. Now, I tighten that screw down, I'm probably not going to be happy, although this has an oval hole, so maybe that'll be alright. Yeah, I guess we're going to be okay. Alright. Now, so, what do I need here? These are the 4. So I think, yeah, I don't think there's anything else that requires screws other than putting the cover on. Dare I put the cover on? I might actually do a quick recording of some royalty-free music, and then we'll play that, which means that I'm going to be coming back to you in a minute, because I'm going to record it onto a blank tape and then listen to it, and then you get to listen to it in a minute. Okay, I've been playing around with this, and what I've done is I've taken this that I had copyright-free music on and recorded a tape, some of the songs on this tape. This is junk tape, by the way. This is really cheap. I say really cheap. There's worse than this, but this is not great quality. But I wanted to show you what quality this thing actually has. I remember this thing being really good. Now I hope you can tell through the camera how nice this thing sounds. This is going through my stereo with some really decent speakers, but the highs are clean, the bottom end is really good. It works really well. It's one of the reasons why I want to get this behaving properly. And in the course of playing around with this, I'm fast forwarding and rewinding and etc. And it's working perfectly. To be honest, I'm actually surprised that it's working as well as it is, because I really wasn't sure if that rubber renew would do what I wanted it to do, and It's done far better than I thought it would. So I think this is ready to go back together, and to say I'm happy is an understatement. Let's see, I want to advance. I advanced to this selection because with the instruments being used on this cut, you would probably hear if this had some wow and flutter issues, and I don't hear anything. So right there, if this thing were not doing well, if it did have some slipping belts or something like that, you would hear it. Those long notes that are held out like that, you'd hear a change in tone. It wouldn't sound clean. It wouldn't be good. So I do believe this is ready. To the cover put back on, and we'll put this back on, and then I'll take a look at the other. There we go. Take a look at the other cassette deck, and I have a feeling parts are going to be required for that one. So let's see. All right. So put this thing back together. Oops. Banging my camera again. Now, when you're putting this on, I don't know, am I all the way back? Yes, I am. There are, okay, let's do this. There's a lip here that's small and short, and there's a lip here that's fat. That goes to the rear. So when you put this on, it drops right into place. And I have some crud on my case. Oh well. Alright, that's off. I don't want you. I think that goes to the other deck. Somehow, maybe this is the problem with having two devices apart at the same time. I put the screws in the wrong place. Why for? Oh. Come on. Let's go. Well, these guys are really tricky. I don't know if I can show you this. There's a lip right here, and there's a lip right here. And if you don't get, I got on problem on both hands. You gotta get this top part into the slot. And make sure you shove it forward so that this piece that extends out is under that lip. They really, really, really didn't want that to move around, I guess. Now, hopefully I can get the screws in this thing. Why are you, that's weird. I know these are the screws that came out. Aren't they? Oh, wait a minute. Are they? I think these are the screws. I mean, I really messed up, didn't I? Let's see if I'm right here. Yep, those are them. Well now, I confused myself, apparently, playing with two devices at once. So, let's see. One of the things I have learned over the years is not to force fasteners that don't want to go. So if I had forced those silver screws into place in this, that would ruin the threads, and they would not have worked well with the tape deck they belong to. That would have been a mistake. I don't like those. All right. So I think this is safe to. I think I can safely say this is ready to roll.